Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Book Corner, guys. Getting ready for another comic book review, and this is your host, as always, Mike Spider Slayer. Guys, today we are talking about Avengers vs. X-Men Round 11. That's right, guys. This series is finally getting ready to conclude. After starting in April, I can't believe we're heading into October and this series is about to end. Um, I've really enjoyed this Marvel event. I think it has been one of the best ones in a while, and I am actually sad to see it ending. But nevertheless, every great series or story has to conclude, and this is the beginning of the end. And there was epic battles of any kind of size and proportion in this particular issue, and uh, things that will affect the Marvel Universe in years to come, I would think. It was a great issue, but let's just start somewhere here. First, what I'm showing you is a variant cover of Round 11. This is a great cover. We have Cyclops choking Emma for the Phoenix Force power. Very awesome. Um, this story has been written by a whole bunch of artists or a whole bunch of writers, as you know: Jason Aaron, Brian Michael Bendis, Ed Brubaker, Matt Fraction, and Jonathan Hickman. In this script, we have Bendis doing the script. Oliver Coipel is the pencils, and Mark Morales is the inks. Again, this cover is a fantastic cover. I love it tremendously. I do not own this cover. This is a cover that I got off the internet. However, this is the one that I do have, and this is the direct edition. I did do the AR to check it out to see if the AR functioned properly in this particular issue, unlike the last issue. And the AR is nothing to scream about. It's nothing great. It's nothing fantastic. Um, all it has is the cover, which tells you the story, which is really good. And but besides that, you see some sketch drawings and a little uh, past history with Scott and Charles Xavier, if I must say so. But besides that, there was nothing else. Interior art, here's a couple panels, a couple pages here for you. Here we see the top panel with Charles Xavier kind of duking it out with Cyclops here. All the panels in the book kind of looked like this. It was a very different way of doing the comic with the characters standing out in the middle of the page. It was very, very different. I found it a little bit confusing to read at first, but then when I reread it and went through it, made more sense. Here's a closer picture there of that same panel there. You can see Storm in the background. So, awesome book, I must say so. So, walkthrough time and review time. Guys, there will be spoilers if you have not heard what happened yet. I'm just letting you know in advance. I know Marvel gave it away on Wednesday when the book was released. A lot of us had speculation this was going to happen, and it did. So let's just do a walkthrough of the book real quick, shall we? Okay, so in the beginning of the issue, we have Iron Man here. I wonder if I can get this a little bit zoomed up there, hopefully. We have Captain America. Sorry, Captain America is on the cliff, and you see him looking up, and he's talking, and he's saying, "We need more firepower. We need more numbers. We need this. We need that." And he goes, "Will you help us?" And we have the Hulk, who says, "Yes, Hulk will smash for you." Hulk kind of looks a little oafy there, but you can see his size compared to Captain America, which is crazy. And as the issue goes, we see Rogue admitting that she was wrong for siding with the X-Men, and see how the X-Men, like Cyclops and like Emma Frost and Colossus and Magic and Namor, who got corrupted by the Phoenix power. And we see Charles Xavier make his first appearance pretty much since the first couple issues, I think, in the book. And we can see that he's surrounded by the Avengers, and that they all have his back and he has their back. And they created like this safe harbor. And we can see all the Avengers and the X-Men are making up. They're shaking hands. They're becoming friends again. The way we liked it in the past, before this crazy battle got out of control. And they realized that Scott and Emma are so corrupted that there's nothing to do. When we go back to Utopia, we see that Emma is just completely losing her mind. She just wants to destroy the world and start over again. And she's trying to convince Cyclops, and Cyclops is taking all his will and his might. I mean, you pretty much see him sweating in this particular panel, trying to control something of the corruption. And you can see him. He's like, Emma, stop, and she keeps saying this. And she's like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, I don't know. They're losing it. And then all of a sudden, Cyclops is like, wait. He's like, do you feel that? He's like, what? Stay here. And next we see the beginning of the end of Charles Xavier looking out into the ocean. And he's just looking there with the jacket, breezing on by and everything. And Cyclops all of a sudden is pissed off. How dare you, Charles? He's like freaking out. He's like, he can't stand that he's there. He's just like, I've done everything. I've tried to reshape the world. And he's like, I'm shutting you down. And he's using his mind control and his powers to try to stop him. And he keeps threatening him. He's like, don't make me do this. And no matter what, though, Charles has just got his hands in his pocket. He's all cool and collective. And he's just controlling Cyclops, just bringing him down. Then all of a sudden, we see all these Avengers and X-Men. And this is when the issue here, it really starts blowing up. This is when all this panel stuff starts happening. And, Emma goes after him. She's like, Scott, and then there's all this battle. And Cyclops is pissed. And he's like, enough. And no matter what he does, though, Professor X just, is bringing him to the ground. And he just says, how can you do this, Charles? And he starts using his eye beams to try to stop him. Captain America shields him, like the good captain that he is. And Scarlet Witch tries to get involved, and she uses her powers, and he knocks him down, and nothing really seems to stop him. Hulk tries to smash here, and it looks like, I think he smashes Emma. This is where I get confused a couple of times, because you see the big smash, and then you see the panel there where he's going down to smash on her. But no matter what happens, they can't really stop him. And Magneto shows up, and he tries to, stop him, and he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, they're all here to kill us. He's saying that, like, they're here to kill Cyclops and Emma, and he's trying to reshape the world into a better place, and everyone is just attacking him. Hawkeye even gets an arrow in the neck, and you think he's getting really beat, and he's just, again, he's telling Xavier, he's just like, you see that, Xavier? They're trying to assassinate us. He's like this god, and Iceman comes down. He's like, damn you, Summers. And, he's like, we're done here, Scott. And then that's it. And then all of a sudden, it's like you think like Xavier has this complete control. And it looks like, I guess from what I got out of it, he screams so loud. He goes, I told you, get out of my head. It's like Xavier's like, ah! His head like kind of like explodes. You can see it shaking there. And he falls to the ground. And all of a sudden, Scott just says, I'm sorry, Emma. And he gets super desperate. And he just zaps Emma and takes her to the ground. And she just goes, "I can't believe you." And I thought she was going to die first, and then it kind of flip-flopped in the issue. But right away, he goes right after her to try to get that power so he can be the complete Phoenix. And you can see him going after her, just strangling her, just like in that variant cover there. And the only thing I didn't like about this particular issue was, well, two things. Was I kind of wished their battle was a little bit more involved instead of him just strangling her. They're two epic and most powerful people in the Marvel Universe at this point, and all he has to do is strangle her and he gets the power. So I kind of didn't like that too much. And then I didn't like this drawing here of Hope. She looks like a little girl, a lot younger than what she looks like, or what her age is supposed to be. And Charles recovers and he says, "Scott, look around you. I'm begging you, son, stop it now." And all of a sudden, you see that he consumes the last portion of the Phoenix Force, and he says, "You are not my father." And he's like, "That's enough." And then all of a sudden, he just, I don't know what exactly he does, and he goes, "It is." And he just flares out, and the next thing you see is that it goes right to Charles, and he's dead. That's it. That's the end of him. And if you look at the AR, you have like a little thing of, you know, all their history leading up kind of up into this point. And you actually see Cyclops cry here. So there is some feeling at this point for him. And he goes, "Why did you make me do this? Why couldn't you just leave me alone?" Wolverine's pissed off. He puts on the mask. And next thing he goes is he tells the Hulk, "Throw me." And he goes right after him, but Cyclops, I mean, you can't stop him at this point. He just burns Wolverine like it's nothing. He goes down to the ground, and the next thing we see is you see him, he says, this is what Jean felt like." And then Emma's just like, "Oh no." So she's still alive, so you know she's still alive. The only death is Charles Xavier, which is a major death, major player in the Marvel Universe, and now he's gone. Sure, he'll be back sometime or later. Next thing you see, he's on his knees. He's like, can't control all that power that he has. It's like an atomic bomb that goes off all over the place. Spider-Man's like, "Oh, what's happening now?" Beast is like, "Oh, it's our worst nightmare." And the last thing you see, after all this time, we've been waiting to see who was going to be the Phoenix. It wasn't Hope, wasn't Emma, wasn't any of those Phoenix 3. It is now Scott Summers, and he goes, "I am fire and life, incarnate now and forever. I am Phoenix." And that is the last page of the issue. And we have one more issue to go before this series ends. So, if you haven't read it yet, go out and read it. It's a very exciting issue, great art. Like I said, there was those nitpicky things about the little drawing of Hope and the battle between Emma and Scott. You would think based off of the covers, both this cover and the variant cover, that would be a much more drawn out battle, but it was literally not even like a full page. I did enjoy the battle between Scott and Professor Xavier, and the overall issue was solid. So that's why, again, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, guys. You guys, tell me what you thought of this issue. Were you happy to see Charles die? Were you disappointed in seeing Emma live? Tell me what you thought. Great issue, one of the best ones so far. So, guys, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner, and this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.